All right, Jeff wants to add more qualified dividend incomes to his retirement accounts or his cash flow. Should he? So let's start with the premise here. I think you'll get a lot out of this. Jeff lives in Wisconsin. He's 64 years old. He has, I think he said he's making $4,000 a year on ABBV. Yeah, 4,000. I don't even know what that is, but I looked at the yield right now. It's yielding about 4.86%. So I said, let's run the numbers there, big man. Let's see. So let's start with a premise of how much he pays in taxes on this right here. He has $2,000 a month of Social Security, $15,000 a year in pension. So $2,000 a month times 2 times 12 is 24. That's why you come here, because I tell you, like the Khan Academy, 2 times 12 is 24. 24,000 Social Security, 15,000 pension. We take our trusty your pen gear dry erase, and we're going to figure out how much taxes he has. Then we're going to add the qualified dividend income to see. All right, so we know we take half of Social Security, which is 12, plus the 15,000, so that's $27,000. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a gauge of how much of his Social Security is subject to taxation via this thing called provisional income. And he's single, so Jeff 60. Can you even read that? You might not be able to read this. Jeff is 64, lives in the great state of Wisconsin. It's still pretty ugly, but either way. All right, so he has $27,000 of provisional income, PI. All right, so we know the first $25,000, none of it's subject to taxation. The next $25,000 to $34,000, 50% of that is, and anything above $34,000, 85% of that is. So he's got $2,000. So we take $25,000, 0, and then $2,000. That leaves us $27,000. That equals 1,000 of his Social Security is subject to taxation. We're going to quickly see he's on a very high tax bracket. Let's see, yeah. So we got 1,000 of Social Security plus his $15,000 pension. That's $16,000. We're just going to say he's got a standard deduction of $13,000. Might even be more than that because he's single. No, let's just say $13,000 for simplicity. So he has a taxable income of $3,000. Let's see, this is right here is AGI. So right now he's paying $300 to the feds, and I did the right capital thing, not right capital. I did the taxes in Wisconsin, and I don't think he pays very much, if anything. He pays $151 in Wisconsin in taxes. All right, so he pays $356 to be precise for federal taxation, and $151 in Wisconsin. That's without including his dividend income. All right, so you with me so far? So now let's throw dividends in there. And oh man, I screwed up my knee. I tell you, when you get old, my friends, woo! I was moving some dirt on top of a hill. We had 10 cubic yards dumped, and I'm just taking my shovel, put it in the wheelbarrow. Take my shovel, put it in the wheelbarrow. Going down this hill so I can drop it off on the outlying of this pool, so I can plant some stuff for the beautiful. And I'm flying down this hill. It's great because gravity just pulls you. All you got to do is run with it. Lo and behold, though, it hits a rock. It stops on a dime, and I don't stop. And, man, it just went right into my knee. Woo! That hurts. That feels a lot better. It could have been a lot worse. It could have hit, you know what I'm saying? If you're a man and you get hit in that area, that will, that's not good. And so I'm sitting there, it's like, oh, man, geez Louise, man. And I get all kinds of surgeries. I got freaking stitches coming out tomorrow. I got freaking knees exploding. I got rotator cuff surgery. I freaking chopped off a part of my hand a couple months ago in the mandolin. Just falling apart in front of your very eyes. All right, so if any of you guys are into ladies, I'm sure my wife will be available before long because, man, I am just a freaking basket case of injuries. All right, so let's go. We know we have $300 of social. We know we have $300 of taxation because of the $15,000 for pension and $24,000 for the Social Security. So we're just going to write $300 up here. And the software doesn't allow you to add QDI to get a gauge of Just bear with me just a second. So it doesn't. I'm just going to keep my numbers. So the software I have doesn't allow me to add QDI to see what it does for the state. QDI is qualified dividend income, which is taxed at 0, 15, 20, depending on what your tax bracket is. All right. So we're going to do the same scenario. We got 24,000 Social Security. We got 15,000 pension. And I think he said he has 4,000 in QDI. Bear with me just a second. Yeah, 4,500 QDI. Okay, cool. 4,500 in QDI. He did not like, it wasn't being mean. He just didn't like my take on don't have income if you can avoid income in your investments. Just have it in a Roth. Because he says, look, I'd like to get more. I'm living off QDI. All right. So remember, QDI is qualified dividend income. Long-term capital gains is taxed much more favorably at all times than ordinary income. It's still, though, the same. It goes into your provisional income threshold here. So we take the Social Security plus this. That's 19,500. So now we got. I need my trusty calculator. That's 31,500 is his provisional income. All right. All right, so now we go over here and we say the first 25,000 is not subject to any taxation. That leaves us 6,500 times 0.5, and what's that? 3,250, right? 3,250 will be subject to taxation. So 3,250 of his Social Security is subject to taxation. 3,250 plus the pension. And that gives us what, 18,250. We're going to do another $13,000 of standard deduction, 5,250. So he'll be paying $525 taxes. So basically, with that $4,500, he's still in the 12% tax bracket. So that QDI is free and clear of any taxation. But he just, so that $4,500 made him pay $225 more in taxes. Yeah, I'd say that's worth it for sure. All right, but let's say now what we're going to do, instead of saying he only has 4,500 of QDI, we're going to make that, let's say it's an extra 10,000 of QDI, 14,500. All right, now watch, we'll see. And I don't know. I'm just running these numbers to see how it works. All right. So QDI, as long as he stays in the 10 or 12% tax bracket, his QDI is free and clear of any taxes, which is good. And I think he will here. I can't imagine this will put him up there. But anyway, we're going to say, all right, so we got 29.5 plus 12. Is that 41,500? All right. Now we're starting to get it someplace here. So let's see. 41,500 minus 25,000. All right, that leaves him the next 9,000 is 4,500. 50% of that is. So now we got 45. That's 3,400. 34,000. I gotta get my trusty calculator. All right, so the next amount is 41,500 minus 25 minus 9 gives us 7,500. That's at that 85% threshold. And now I got to do that times 0.85, and that gives us 63.75. All right, so if it takes 63.75 plus 4,500, that's 10,875. So now 10,875 of his Social Security is subject to taxation. And just remember, if you're single, if your provisional income, again, they take all of your income, including tax-exempt interest. The only thing they don't do is take Roth IRA income. I just tell you right now, all of it, including tax-exempt interest, is filtered into your provisional income. Your provisional income is what determines how much of your Social Security is subject to taxation. If you're single, the first 25,000 of your provisional income, none of your Social Security is subject to tax. The next amount between 25 and 34, 9,000, 50% of that is subject to taxation. The next amount, any amount above, 34,000, 85% of that is subject to taxation. All right. So now we got 10,800, almost double, almost half of his Social Security is subject to taxation, plus that pension. Let's see, that's going to be 25,875. Yeah, he'll still be in a 12% tax bracket. Yeah, he will, because that's your AGI. And we minus $13,000 for his standard deduction. And we get $12,875. The first, let me just say the first $10,000 is 10%. That's $1,000 in taxes, and then 2,875 times 12%. 2,875 times 0.12, and that's $345. All right, so here we go. So that's $1,345. All right, so in this case, it's not that big of a deal, and I don't know what Wisconsin would tax them at. I don't know how they figure that in, but from a federal perspective, if he were to add $10,000 to his QDI, it'd make his taxes go up by basically $1,000. Yeah, so that's a 10% tax bracket. Well, he's in a 12% tax bracket, so that's actually favorable to him. That's good. Now, the problem that happens, though, is once you start getting a little bit above into that threshold, that tax torpedo, it could be bad. But in this case, no, that's a good move, I think, because look, I'm not saying he should do it to ABBV. I have no idea what ABBV is, and I don't want to know it. I just don't care. And what I'm saying, I don't research it. I don't know anything about it. If he feels comfortable with it, more power to him. But if he added an extra $10,000, it would only give him an increase in taxes of basically $820 because he was already paying $525 when he had the $4,500. Yeah, so that's not bad, man. So if he add an extra $10,000, so that's not a tax consequence. So yeah, man, Jeff, if he likes the stock, he should do it. I'm surprised. I thought it might be a lot more painful than it was there. But hey, the reality is the reality. You can't argue with the facts. The facts are the facts, and here are the facts. It's not going to be painful to him at all. Again, I don't know what Wisconsin would do here. I don't know. But from this regard, go crazy, man. Hey, love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your comments. We'll see ya.